Okay, so what if I told you the secret to getting smarter isn't about adding more stuff, but actually taking things away? It's a bit counterintuitive, right? Well, today we're diving into a really powerful mental model that's all about that idea. It's called the Synaptic Pruning Protocol. Let's just jump right in with the core idea. Intelligence is not the accumulation of connections, it is the deletion of noise. It's a pretty provocative statement, isn't it? The whole idea that real intelligence isn't about how much you know, but about how good you are at clearing out all the static. That's exactly what we're going to unpack today. So let me just ask you this directly. We've all been taught our whole lives that progress means piling on more skills, more facts, more habits. But what if the real path to being faster, sharper, and just plain more effective is actually about strategic subtraction? About letting things go. Now, this isn't just some clever philosophy or a productivity hack. This entire protocol is actually based on a fascinating biological process that is literally happening inside your brain right now. So yeah, let's get into the science of it. The process is called synaptic pruning. The best way to think about it is like your brain's own internal quality control system. And look, this is not about losing your memory or anything like that. It's all about optimizing the network for peak performance. It's just a biological need for efficiency. So when we're kids, our brains are in this massive growth phase. It's like a jungle in there. It's creating this huge, incredibly dense web of connections, or synapses, for absolutely everything we see, hear, and learn. At that stage, it's all about potential. And this is where the microscopic heroes of our story come in. The microglia. These are these tiny, specialized cells that basically act like gardeners. They're constantly patrolling your neural pathways, looking for connections that just aren't being used much. And their job is pretty simple. They snip away the weak links, the redundant pathways, the connections you just don't use anymore. And the result? Well, the important, well-traveled connections that are left behind get stronger. Signals can zip across the brain much, much faster. It's literally addition by subtraction, built right into our biology. So that's the biology. But how does this blueprint apply to, our actual lives? Well, the model draws this really sharp distinction between how a novice approaches things versus how a master does. Let's really dig into this comparison. Just look at this contrast for a second. The novice, they always think the answer is more. More apps, more books, more techniques, you name it. But the master? They get it. They understand that real power comes from refinement. They don't add, they simplify. They chip away at everything that isn't absolutely essential until only the most effective, most elegant actions are left. And this brings us to a really crucial moment of self-reflection. We all have it, right? Outdated beliefs, old habits, mental models we picked up years ago that just don't serve us anymore. You can think of it as your mind legacy code. What's yours? Okay, so this is where the theory turns into actual practice. To deal with all that legacy code, the protocol walks you through what it calls a cognitive bloat audit. It's really just about taking a clear, honest inventory of your mental overhead. So what in the world is cognitive bloat? Well, it's any mental process that just sucks up your focus and your energy without giving you anything positive back. Think of it like the junk food of thought. It makes you feel busy, but it doesn't actually nourish your goals. The protocol itself is a pretty straightforward 3-step process. First, you just take inventory. You audit your bloat. Second, you figure out which of those things are the biggest energy vampires. And third, you actively and systematically start to eliminate them. And hey, this isn't about just using willpower or gritting your teeth. It's about being strategic and designing your environment to make the bad habit harder to do. And here are some super common examples. Do any of these look a little familiar? Let's take compulsive email checking. You could prune that by turning off all notifications and setting just 2 specific times a day to check your inbox. Done. Or how about getting stuck ruminating on past failures? You could prune that by scheduling, say, a 5-minute worry time, and then you consciously move on. Every single one of these is a perfect candidate for a strategic prune. So here's the most important point. This isn't just a cool concept to understand. It's a protocol to claim for yourself. It's about making an active, conscious decision to become a better editor of your own mind. I absolutely love this quote because it's a real call to action. It completely reframes what progress means. What if for the next month, your only goal wasn't to learn some new skill, but to just delete one single bad habit? Just imagine the boost in your mental processing speed. And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. This isn't about becoming empty-headed or knowing less. It's about creating space. By pruning away all the unnecessary stuff, you achieve this incredible clarity of thought and speed of execution on the things that actually matter. So let's end with this. Let's move from the abstract to the immediate. Right now, based on everything we just talked about, what's the one piece of cognitive bloat, that one distracting habit that you are going to choose to prune first?